Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. You're in for a real treat. I've got the Velowave Swift. This is a mid-drive e-bike. Now, if you don't know what a mid-drive e-bike is, you're going to want to stay tuned. These things are absolutely awesome. So we'll go over all the specs today. We'll take it out for a ride. And at the end of the video, I'll give you my final thoughts on this, as well as let you know where you can get one of these at a discount. You're going to want to stay tuned. Let's go. All right, here we are on a beautiful day. We're testing out the brand new Swift M mid-drive electric bike by Velowave. It comes in two different sizes. We've got the medium and you have the large. I will put links to the website down in the description section so you can look at the differences between the two. It basically has to do with your rider height, how tall you are. It comes in two different colors. We got the blue gray and then the one I have right here, which is the macaron green, which I think is absolutely beautiful. So let's talk range, speed, all that stuff. So this uses a 500-watt motor, which will get you about 24 miles per hour. It also has a payload capacity of 385 pounds, so even those larger riders can ride this e-bike. It utilizes a 48-volt, 15-amp-hour battery, which is going to get you some pretty darn good range. In fact, when you think of range, a lot of people think it's the same whether you're throttling or pedaling, and that's not the case, guys. So just so you know, if you are pedaling as well, with the pedal assist option, you're gonna get about 80-mile range on this, which is outstanding. It's because this e-bike itself is under 60 pounds, and that's with the battery installed in it. So it's a very light e-bike, which is easy to travel, and you can put it up really easily on any kind of normal bike mount, which is awesome. Use a Shimano shifter. It's an 8-speed shifter, which is really, really nice. It's the same with the derailleur. It is Shimano freewheel, all that stuff is Shimano. So it's got some really high-end components as well as the tires, which is Kenda tires. Whether you get the 27.5-inch or the 29-inch tires, they're both 2.1 inches wide. So you're gonna have a little bit wider tire than a traditional bike, but not quite what we would consider a fat tire. So you do have some normal sized tires, which is great because you can actually use this in normal bike mounts, stands, all those things which you normally wouldn't be able to do with those bigger fat tires. Couple more quick features before I go over my final thoughts on this e-bike. It does have 5 levels of pedal assist. You got level 1, 2, 3, 4, and then sport. It utilizes a torque sensor, so the more effort that you give, the more the bike will give. I actually really like that. I hope you enjoyed the riding scenes. I know it was really quick. I just wanted to give you a really quick overview of what it looks like when you're actually riding on the road. Now, I did pick the large size because I'm about 6 foot tall, so you can kind of get a guide with these 29-inch tires how it would look on you if you are about 6 foot as well. So it is a little bit higher to get on. If you are a little bit shorter, say 5'7"-ish, you probably might want to go with the smaller version, which is the 27.5-inch tires. It just lowers the whole bike down just a little bit for you. So let me give you some of my final thoughts, but before I do that, I want to talk about the motor. So most e-bikes will come with a rear hub motor right here. Now, there's a few bad things about having a rear hub motor. One, the weight distribution is a little bit different, plus it puts a lot more strain on the motor to get up those hills, whereas a mid-drive has a better weight distribution and will give you more torque than a traditional rear hub motor will to get you up those hills. But here's something to consider, which some people don't think about. Changing a tire can be a lot more work on an e-bike than a traditional bike when you have a motor attached to the hub itself. By not having a motor back there, it's a whole lot easier to change a tire. So if you do get a flat tire, think about that. Mid-drive might be better for you. I did notice a more natural feel switching through the gears. So if you are somebody that likes to pedal, get some exercise, but then also have a little bit of assist, a mid-drive e-bike might be better for you. The mid-drive motor will be right here in the center of the bike, and as you're pedaling, you feel it, the torque sensor kicking in. The harder you pedal, the more power you get as far as assistance, whereas a rear hub motor, sometimes when you start to pedal, it just kind of kicks in really sharp and takes off. A few other nice things about this e-bike here is it does have a very wide saddle. I mentioned that while I was riding, very comfortable. It doesn't look, you can't really tell in camera, but it's actually a very comfortable wide saddle. It does come standard with a back rack as well as fenders. That's not an upgrade. Comes standard with it right here. Really simple panel to do. It also has walk mode, thumb throttle to go, color display, very small color display. A little bit hard to see in the bright lights. I would have liked maybe a bigger display, although typically with e-bikes, I'll go ahead and just throw a phone mount on there and use my phone for most functions. But it does have a full odometer and all that, and you can see the different gears in light. It's just a little bit smaller for my old eyes. It does have a little bell here, cute little bell, nothing special. Again, 8-speed shifter like I mentioned. It does have comfortable grips right here with a rest, and I like that, having those rests, because this has up to an 80-mile range, and to be able to just rest on those handlebars is a big thing. And I mentioned these are the 29-inch tires, 2.1 inches wide, so you could go off-road or on-road with this, although I would consider this more of an on-road light trail, maybe a little bit of dirt kind of travel. I wouldn't do big gravel or anything like that. It does have some pretty good grit to the tires. One of the nice things about this is they use very high-end components. It does have a very bright backlight, not just a reflector, and then you've got your front light right here, which is a lot brighter than you think it would be. And then of course you do have the reflector right down below. This is a lockout suspension, so you can adjust it so that so right now it's locked, and then you could unlock it, make it a lot smoother, and it bounces a little bit more. So it's kind of nice to be able to do that. Again, really good brakes on this as well. That was one thing that I was super impressed with the brakes. A lot of times when you get an e-bike, especially new ones, you get a little squeal, a little bit of grind on those brakes. This didn't have that at all, so I liked that. It has an extra long adjustable kickstand, so if you are going to be parking this on hills, you have that as well. It is a removable battery as well, and there's a little key right here on the side where you can detach it, and there's a latch as well, a safety latch, and you can pull that out in the winter, which is great. Definitely want to pull that out in the winter because you don't want your e-bike battery to get cold for too long of a period. It'll just diminish the life of it. Guys, this is the Velowave Swift. I know this was a quick overview video. I just wanted to bring it to you because a lot of people don't know about mid-drive e-bikes. They are a little bit more expensive. I'll tell you that right now. This is not a cheap e-bike. Comes in just under $2,000. They do have some models that are less expensive, but you want one that has very high components. And if that's what you're looking for, the Velowave Swift might be an option for you. Again, rear hub motor e-bikes are less expensive, but it is a completely different feel. It would be nice if you guys could find a local bike shop where you could go test out a mid-drive versus a rear hub so you can get a feel for it, but I can tell you right now, it has to do with balance. And I have a bad knee, and so balance is big for me. Mid-drive e-bikes always seem to work a little bit better, but again, they are more expensive. So I do review mid-drive e-bikes and I review rear hub e-bikes, and I've even done dual motor where you have a front and back hub motor on them on this channel. So check out my other videos on those as well. You can see some pros and cons of those. Overall, I absolutely love this e-bike though. I would give this an 8.2 out of 10 if I was rating it. That's a really high score, by the way. Anything over a 7 is a high score for me, but an 8.2 I would give this because it has really high-end components. The only reason it doesn't get any higher is because it's a little bit expensive. It's on the higher end as far as price, but sometimes if you want something good, you have to pay for it. I will put links to this in the description section. Any discount codes that I do find, I'll put down there as well. So make sure you check out the description section of this video by clicking on the title of the video, and it will show up. Hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Any questions, feel free to comment down below. I'm going to take this out for another spin. Thanks again, everybody. Bye.